So what's the secret to deepening your realization? Well, the secret to deepening your realization would be living whatever realization you've had thus far. So you can have many realizations, but they're essentially useless if you're not living as that realization. You can watch the videos, get the aha moments, the insights, the glimpses. You can come to the group guidance. You can get the breakthroughs, the openings, the realizations. But they're essentially useless if you're not living as that. And that's far too common in spirituality. That there's just not living the realization. Fear, doubt comes up. And it's really all of that old conditioning comes up. And it's almost as if there's too many reasons to not live that realization. That's what takes courage. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's where the transformation happens. That's what deepens that realization. Your life becomes the proof of the truth that was realized. The more you live that realization, it deepens. And it's experiential. Far too often, there's a realization, and then it's quickly turned into a trophy that then you speak about with people on these forums, on the internet. And then it's just talking about who's had the most profound realization, but there's no living that. There's no real transformation. It's just a one-off experience. But when you're living that realization, it's continually deepening. And this really has no end. It's really easy for the mind to come in and then claim ownership of a realization and then stick the flag in the ground and say, that's it. That's it. Done. Glad that was accomplished. But then there's no true transformation. Whereas living that realization, it's just continually being experienced in the midst of daily living. And it's ever deepening. In that way, it's endless. Because what you realized was without start, without end. That what you realized is limitless. So you see the irony in saying, that's it, done. This is the end. This is the limit. No, it continues. It's just the type of journey changes. There was seeking the truth, and then that changes to living the truth. And from that point on, life is an adventure. Now, an adventure is when there is no destination in mind. The destination is the end. When there's no end in mind, it's just this adventure that is life itself. This present moment. There's no trying to arrive somewhere. There's no endpoint, outcome. So this is this deepening. And the mystery just continues to unfold. It's so alive. There's so many subtle nuances. So much surprise and wonder. If there's a realization and it's then claimed, and there's that's it, this is the end, I've made it. And all of these conclusions now, you see what's happening. The conclusion is the ending. You're ending that which is endless. Whereas living the truth, you're experiencing an endless transformation. Of course, the transformation is here in the human experience, the experience of forms. That you're just seeing that life is completely transformed. It continues to completely transform. And there's a radical difference. There's many who have had glimpses and breakthroughs and openings. And they're usually the same people that are just correcting other people about their realization, their breakthrough, their opening, their glimpse. And it's a big ego trip. Who had the biggest one? Who's more correct? Who's incorrect? This one policing that one. And now it's just this intellectual debate. Who's right? Who's wrong? Whereas the embodiment of that truth is not caught up in that. It doesn't get entangled in that. Proving right and wrong, attacking, defending. This is exactly what I mean. That there can be a realization, but no transformation. This same nonsense of right and wrong and superior, inferior. Who's better? Who's worse? You're incorrect. I'm more correct. This is the same nonsense that was happening before the realization. So that's what I'm talking about, is there can be the realization, but no transformation. The same silly patterns are continuing. Whereas living that realization, those type of patterns are seen and transformed. That type of righteous conditioning and attacking and defending, and this just is just one example. I mean, there's many. That's just, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, the secret is whatever the breakthrough. It's like the latest breakthrough, the latest aha, whether big or small, doesn't matter. Is now live your life from that. Because that realization, it's like there's no good way to really say it. It's like it becomes more and more alive. See, it's not how the mind thinks it, as, oh, it's a realization and it's like, that's it. I got it now. No, it's a living truth. Like, you're living it. You are the living truth. When I say living truth, I'm not saying you are living the truth. I'm like, you are the living truth. The truth that's realized is alive. So it's not something that's like, oh, I got it. Now let's just put it in my pocket, and now, or let me put it up on my wall, like it's a plaque or a trophy, and then let me just point to it and tell everybody about it. It's not like that. That's how the mind sees it, as like an achievement. I just got to get this thing. First, it was, maybe a girlfriend, or get married, have kids, get a home, build a business. Okay, but I've done all that stuff, and I'm unhappy. But what's the spirituality stuff? Ooh, truth. Okay, the happiness, the love, peace, freedom. Okay, well, I didn't find that in all of this other stuff that I was doing. So this is looking very enticing. I want to have this experience now. Seems like this realization is a big deal. So when I have it, then it's going to be like an achievement. It's going to be an achievement. And sometimes that's where people start having these small or big glimpses, insights, aha moments, epiphanies, breakthroughs. And there's a strong fear that comes up, that kind of, you feel it, like you're getting any closer and this is going to be too close. So it's kind of like, yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I got it. All the stuff that you're talking about in the videos, I'm pretty sure I know what you're saying. I've experienced what you're saying. And so then it's like, okay, I got it. I achieved it. Now let me just go back to what I was doing. And then it's like nothing's changed. It's like nothing's changed. So this is what I mean. Whereas whatever the insight, the aha moment is then living that truth. See, because you can't just realize a truth and then go back to living the lie. That would just be ignoring the truth that you realized. It's a little bit of this, I don't like to use like these psychology words, but this like cognitive dissonance. It's like wearing a blindfold, taking it off, looking, and then putting the blindfold back on. Burying your head in the sand, lifting your head out of the sand, dust off the sand, look around, oh, it's like this, and then put your head back in the sand. It's like that. So whatever the realization is, the secret to it deepening is you live from that, and then it gets deeper, and then you live from that, and then it gets deeper, and then you live from that, and then it gets deeper. And like this, as you're experiencing it, your life is only experienced as more and more magical. Maybe that's not the best word. Let's switch that word just because magical might be related to dreamlike, but it's just more wonderful. It's so mysterious. It's an adventure because you're living in and as that unknown. So there's this deepening of this mystery, this magic, this wonder, this awe, this surprise. It's very childlike. There's an innocence. It's more and more of this trust and this faith in the unknown, the love for the unknown. But the old conditioning is like, no, you should control. No, don't do this. No, go back to how it was. So that's why it's very easy to dismiss the realization. That's why it takes courage. Because you will feel that fear. But it's the courage and trusting the direct experience. You're trusting the experience. That realization is experiential. It's not conceptual. But you see, if we don't trust the experience and we're trusting the concept, well, the conceptual reality is that's what's seen through. That's what's seen to be untrue. So you see, there can't be any transformation if this is realized, but then you go back to living like this. There's just no transformation there. And you see how you can't deepen. How can you deepen if you just keep on going back? It would be like this journey. The journey is going deeper. You're going deeper in the forest. But you can't go deeper because you're always going back. You take 2 steps forward, but then you go back. Take 2 steps forward again, but then you go back. So like this journey is never deepening. If you just always go back to how you were living. So the way it's deepened is these realizations. It's like 2 steps, realization. Okay, live from that. Now go from there. Another realization or another insight. Okay, now live from that. And like this, it's just, and this journey is deepening. So it's all about living the realization. Hopefully this helps. See you in the next one.